Spartans! Prepare for glory! This is where we hold them! This is where we fight! I brought more soldiers than you did.
Dude.
It was like the perfect time, wasn't it?
Same here, man. They fell asleep same time.
I know.
Never happens.
Them darn children.
Damn darn.
Everyone's having some decent luck today, aren't they? Kids especially. All right. So welcome back to the Collective Minds podcast, everybody. This is episode 2. And being so is episode 2, I thought it was a great time to actually finally introduce ourselves. I'm Austin, also go by Astro. We got your co-hosts here, Jace, Jay, JBL, and Brandon for the night. And we are going to talk about some wild things. All right, you guys got anything to say?
Let's fucking dive in, dude. Let's get into it. I'm
Let's do
fucking
this.
stoked. I'm stoked on this one, dude.
Let's do this. You know, it's funny that it took to the second episode to where we realized, hey, nobody knows who the hell we are, and maybe it's a good time to.
Yeah, yes. You guys got to guess. Just make up names for us.
Yeah, you gotta track us down, hacker.
Yeah,
IP
track us down,
addresses,
yeah.
and then
It ain't coming easy. You guys think it's that easy?
Oh, you
Come on.
thought you could find out who
You
we were for
thought?
free?
Yeah.
Just subscribe to our monthly information.
Exactly. Come on, guys.
We'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
Give you one letter
Yeah.
a month that you're
Yeah.
subscribed.
I'll give you a J. Okay, we'll give you a J. And
15
that's
bucks
pretty
a
much
month.
everybody in the fucking group. So
Say the name, but not spell it. You got to work
Yeah.
letter to letter. We're gonna use the new age math that's
Yeah.
backward colors to be done in this, but we're gonna use letters. And
yeah, it's like Hangman.
so, guys, I brought a mystery today. Mystery, and I hope you're excited for it. As excited as I am. So, this is the mystery of the Black Eyed Club. Anyone know what that is? Anyone ever heard of it?
The black eye or black guy?
Oh, Black Eyed Peas.
Definitely Black Eye.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Black Eye. Okay.
I was like, black guy club. Okay, that's a new
The
one.
Black Eye Club.
The
Like,
Black
Austin, you
Eye.
trying to tell us something else right now? Like,
That's-
The
Is it
kind of
BGC.
podcast?
Yeah.
Well, you ever seen that? You ever seen that picture of that little white
Wait.
girl around those 5 black guys? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Piper Perry.
No, that's next episode.
Are you the white girl?
What kind of podcast is
I could be anything for the right price. Buy me a drink first, Brandon.
I'll make it way fucking cheaper. I'll just slip you a Percocet in one drink. You'll be fine.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
you better double
That'll
up.
work. That'll
I
work.
got some weight on me. I might take 2 of them.
I'm here for time efficiency, Austin.
Quick and easy, get it done. That's how we do it. All right. So the Black Eye Club is this conspiracy thing that has to do with elites, the Illuminati, reptilians, possibly MK mind control, and possibly some more aliens. So in recent years, this conspiracy has emerged, and it suggests that celebrities seen sporting a left black eye, specifically the left black eye, are part of the Illuminati. Some believe it is some sort of abuse, humiliation ritual required in order to join the elitist shadow cult, believed to control and influence the world with powers of evil intent. Welcome to the mystery of the Black Eyed Club. All right, guys. So, although it's not officially an organization, the Black Eyed Club refers to like a growing number of politicians, celebrities, business elites, and heads of state who have suddenly and like mysteriously appeared in public with a black eye. So typically when asked these people about the black eye, they try to minimalize it and make like as a simple mistake or accident, and they just laugh it off. So every single time these elitists or whatever you want to call them show up with a left black eye, and the thing is that I've noticed too is the black eye is never swollen. It's not like if you got punched in the eye or hit it really hard, it swells up. It's never like that. It looks like a bruise, the bruise you have after one of those real black eyes, where the bruise is there, but the swelling's all gone. and sometimes it's like half the damn face. Sometimes it's just this little crease of a black eye. Sometimes it's a whole eye. It's all different every time you see it. But they're always like try to laugh it off. That's the thing that always gets me too. Is they're always like, "Ha ha, I ran into a wall," or "that door was super tall and the doorknob hit me," or
Just like the Chris Brown and Rihanna situation.
Exactly. That's what they always come up with excuses. That's like, "My husband definitely did not beat me," and you got like famous grown adults saying that stuff. So,
Who was the latest to have a black eye?
that is a good question. I actually did not find that out, but I'm going to tell you here in a second the list, because the list has actually gotten so big that it's getting harder and harder to track them down, and so it's ever growing in numbers, and it's crazy. So this keeps happening and happening and happening, and people started noticing it in like 2010 and when people started talking more and more about the Illuminati. And so here is a list of the people I could pull up that are officially in the Black Eye Club. And take note that if this is all real, that most of the people that actually go through this process probably aren't seen for a few days and actually don't get caught with that. You know what I mean? Celebrities disappear all the time for days, weeks, sometimes months at a time. Shit, some of them even years. So we got Lady Gaga, we got Pope Francis, Barack Obama, Charlie Rose, Robert Downey Jr., John Kerry, George W. Bush, Kanye West, Ben Affleck, Harry Reid, Stephen Colbert, Prince Philip, John McCain, Reese Witherspoon, Sir Richard Branson, Ryan Gosling, Madonna, Adam Sandler, Lucy Lawless, Michael Vartan, Brad Pitt, Prince Andrew, Boy George, Perez Hilton, John Cleese, Boris Johnson, Simon Cowell, Bill Clinton, Mitt Romney, Joe Biden, and Jennifer Lopez.
Oh God.
What the fuck? That's a long ass fucking list, dude.
It is, and it keeps growing. It
A
just
lot of
keeps.
black eyes for people that don't do much.
Did you say Tom Hanks? I thought Tom Hanks had one too.
Yeah, I said Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
He
he's
did.
the-
Okay.
I mean, there's so many that you can't remember who I said.
Oh damn, dude.
So Robert Downey Jr.
Not
wasn't-
him.
Yeah,
Not
Robert Downey
Iron
Jr.
Man.
So
Wasn't it
also,
open in his Iron Man 2? It was like right there in the movie.
oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I do remember that.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen there was part of an Ellen DeGeneres show, but had Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, and they had a conversation about having homemade pizza. But if you looked into like Pizzagate or anything like that, like it was a really awkward conversation, especially to have televised. Like it didn't make sense. But then if you just looked into that backstory a little bit, it's like not Adam Sandler, not you. You know, you were so great, and to find out that you're part of something so bad.
Well, we could
Yeah,
also
that sucks.
almost count from episode 1 of how many of these people were listed at the official original report of the people that were on Jeffrey Epstein's flight list.
Yeah.
As well.
There's a huge list.
So it correlates with that too, because a lot of the same people. Also, I didn't include Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan, they tried tying that into it.
no.
But Joe Rogan spars and fights all the time.
Yeah. Even
Of course,
even
he's gonna have a
Brad Pitt.
black
Brad Pitt, was this before or after Fight Club?
eye. This was not during Fight Club.
Okay.
This was later
Sure.
years when he lost his Fight Club body.
Well, like in the
Ugh.
news about Angelina Jolie, like how Weinstein was making passes at her or something like that, and Brad Pitt wouldn't refuse to do movies with him, so he like did more movies, but like, you know, after his wife's telling him, "Yo, this creep is doing this shit," he's like,
Mhm.
"I'm going to continue doing it." You know, I mean,
Brad
he could have
Pitt
been under
probably
contract or
loves-
obligation, but
Probably loved watching Weinstein whack it in front of him.
yeah,
Celebrities are weird. If you guys don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
that, they're
they're-
weird.
Yeah, they're psycho.
So everyone's got their theories. I have my own. A lot of these people believe that like the true rulers of the world are not in fact entirely human. You know what I mean? Some believe that the Illuminati group is actually full of reptilian aliens from another world that can control their human subjects with like mind control and other powerful influences, including things like blackmail, money, and possibly being fucking eaten because they're alleged to be 7 foot tall reptilian beings. So when it comes to the mind control, many celebrities have acted like really weird, freaking out and freezing up. And we're going to go over this, and fainting even. And so these are like the best examples I could come up with for these. And they believe that these are, oh, hold on, Jace, you're ruining my stuff. All right, so yeah, they believe that these are actually glitches in their quote unquote mind control or whatever's happening to these people to make them the way they do. So I got a bunch of examples on these glitches, these freakouts, these things that don't sit right, whether, I mean, that could be attributed to things like drugs or stuff like that. So right off the bat, Britney Spears 2007 freakout, perfect example. Another one was Al Roker freezing up, and he's like stares blankly for like minutes during like an interview or whatever. And as soon as his female co-host said the words "Holy Ghost," he froze up like that and just stares weird off into like nothing for minutes. It doesn't even look like he's breathing. There's that time Wendy Williams froze on her TV show before flailing, like looked scared, flailed her arms around, and then fell fainting to the ground. There's one where Cardi B on a red carpet interview literally freezes for like 10-15 seconds and just like has this weird look on her face. Another one with basketball player Draymond Green. He freezes for literal minutes after minutes during an interview without moving or blinking next to the actual player who's being interviewed. He's sitting right next to him. He just sits there, and you can see him breathing but they like fast play it like 300 times, and you can see him slowly breathing. But it looks like he looked down to speak and froze for like 5,
Is this
10
after
minutes.
somebody? Holy! Is this after somebody said something to him? Like, I mean, about.
I didn't go through and break all that down. I don't know if someone said something to him. So what I saw from the short clip of the
Like a
video
trigger?
was him, right? That's what people are thinking is trigger words with most of these. And I mean, if you watch the video, it's creepy. It's not like,
That's weird.
like
That's
some of them, they
weird.
just stare and they're weird.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of people think it's MK Ultra mind control, but in my own opinion, it could be some sort of microchip.
They're like buffering.
Well, you know,
Literally.
they've been doing like experiments on civilizations or the civilians of societies has been going on in like so many major countries over hundreds and hundreds of years. So there's no reason to think that when America grew up that they would stop. Why would they stop? They have a perfect brand new land. They got a new game board to play with. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
It's not that far fetched.
And they even came out and admitted they were doing it, and like by other like investigations, it shows that like they're about 50 to 100 years more advanced. So what they came out and actually admitted to doing or being obviously isn't the truth. You're never going to get the truth from your government. And certain people that have came out of the government have said that about 3% of all the information they ever give you is actually real. So with that,
Damn.
all right. So on to the next one. We got Amanda Bynes. You guys remember her from back in the day on.
Damn,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Amanda Bynes.
She doesn't have one specific time where shit got weird for her. She's had multiple and plentiful amounts of times where stuff was not right with this girl. So she had a breakdown in a courtroom one time, and then she has multiple social media meltdowns. And there's one where she's recording herself on social media, and she's staring in the mirror giving kissy lips, but she's got like moving her eyes and face weird. And she keeps repeating, you did this to me. You did this to me. Or see what you did to
Holy
me.
shit.
Did
you hear about everything that happened to her though, and a bunch of kids at Nickelodeon though?
Yeah.
I could
One of the
only
head producers was like a super pedo, like would make him do like creepy feet videos and like would make him do like super fucking weird shit. This dude, like he looks like a pedo, and I can't recall like specifics, dude, but I would really look into it. Like a lot of those child stars, I wouldn't surprised in like 10 years, 15 years, when they get a little bit of confidence to like come out and say, yeah, we were all like seriously molested and raped by a lot of these fucking guys at Nickelodeon. Like it was really fucking creepy.
It's
It
Dan
is horrible.
Schneider, right? Dan
It is.
Schneider?
Yes, I think that's what his name was. Yeah.
That's the guy.
And
I heard about that
I
too.
think there was 2 or 3 other more, but that guy took the fall for most of them. I know that at least one other guy got in trouble, but I think there was even more guys that were involved with it that kind of like those were kind of the fall guys in the situation.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, that is everywhere though, especially in those child
Oh,
shows. Everywhere. And that could honestly be what it was, but people speculated that the person she's talking to is her handler. And like if you watch the video, there's something not right with it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was just saying in that specific case, like
yeah.
she's fucking weird anyway, but on top
She
of all
is.
that stuff that's happened to her as a kid, like she has a
Yeah.
lot of fucking trauma.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
sometimes abuse and like trauma does show up later in life when you like have your full adult brain and
You don't understand it when you're a kid.
right, because when you're in the
Bro, how
spotlight,
fucked up it was.
yeah, when you're in the spotlight, it's just kind of like you're acting all the time anyway. So the
Yeah.
next one, I just wrote this down because I gotta do a shout out to my boy Mark Zuckerberg, which when he admitted he's not human and honestly just being Mark fucking Zuckerberg.
Gone.
All right, Berg. All right, we're not gonna say it no more, guys. All right. As soon as I said his name, everything's closed out. Zoom everything for everybody. We're not testing those waters no more. So, like I said all the time, coincidence. Isn't that crazy? All right, so next one, there was a
That was
Bruce
wild.
Willis interview where he entered a trance and like starts making weird noises. He's like, "Merp, merp, 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 merp," like. So, all right. Oh yeah, you guys really want to look that one up. I didn't think Bruce Willis could be that weird, but he starts like slipping his words like he's drunk, and then but goes from completely like normal to that, and then he starts like boop, 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 making weird noises.
Like
people
he's
start
like
laughing.
malfunctioning.
They're like, yeah,
the-
like he's and people start laughing in the crowd, but it's like, this guy's not a comedian. You came to the wrong. The wrong fucking place
The
for this
fuck
shit.
is wrong with this guy? Check his batteries.
Like,
Damn.
Bruce, I'm trying to be serious, bro. Come back to reality. Imagine all those movies he makes too, just like in the middle of it. All right. So there's Beyonce glitching during a basketball game with her husband. And she's like staring, and then she's like weaving back and forth, which isn't really weird until you realize like it lasted for like 15 minutes. And
What the fuck?
yeah. And then Winona Ryder from this is recent actually, from Stranger Things. She's like expresses every possible emotion and like really, it's weird.
She's pretty fucking weird.
She is weird already, and it
Yeah,
was
she's
one
a
like when I
weirdo.
saw it, I'm like, but like still, if you realize like how long she's doing it, it's almost like she's like making a weird face at him, and you think she'd like look to the people and smile, and laugh or whatever. But it's weird. It's fucking weird. So possible glitch at an award ceremony for the movie or the TV show. I mean, now I personally believe that some of these things can be like MK mind control. However, I believe like what connects the dots between the Black Eyed Club and these celebrity glitches has to be something that's called the real alien, right? And so this goes back over 100 and something years ago, back to 1871, where it's originally sourced from a book called The Coming Race, and it was published anonymously. So it's even more coincidency. So the novel centers on a wealthy traveler who joins a mining engineer on an expedition into a natural chasm inside of a mine, where there they discover underground dwelling beings, like aliens, who call themselves Vrilya, that have great telepathic and other parapsychological abilities, such as being able to transmit information, right? Get rid of pain and put others to sleep.
That sounds like it's out of the book Baron Trump. Is that book from Baron Trump where he goes underground and he meets these alien people?
Right?
And
it's crazy that there's so many different things that correlate to one thing, and it's like, yeah, people come up with stuff, but they like source this stuff out too. You know what I mean? No one wants to be like write a whole book and then look back and be like, what the fuck? I just totally copied somebody. You know what I mean? Since there's so much of this stuff out there. But so that's where the name originates from. And the idea behind the real alien virtually is the injection of a small biological alien worm or something alike into the left eye where it parasitically attaches to the brain, and in there it's able to control and internally speak to the humans after it matures. And I believe the worm could be like a biological microchip that's able to transmit and receive signals to and from the human host remotely. So it's not necessarily like that's the main thing causing this. It could be like the reptilians or whatever alien thing that's running this show is able to put like a microchip receiver and sender into the brain through the left eye of these people. And that's why they get that weird black eye that doesn't swell. And that's why you have these glitches, is that's when they're transmitting and receiving signals from something outsourced of it. So there is the mind control belief, MK mind control. But I believe that these people are acting, and from like some personal stuff that I've, learned about, that this seems like they're receiving a signal remotely, not just that they are programmed like a computer or, something, and then it like mixes up or messes up. Some of them do seem to be responding to certain words, but she said Holy Ghost. I mean, so that could be religious in some sort of sense. Now, many movies have depicted this over the years, TV shows, books, and it could possibly be like the ultimate explanation of what is actually going on with these celebrities. So we got Puppet Masters 1994 movie. We got Dreamcatcher 2003. We got Star Troopers 2 2004. We got all of the Alien movies. We got a movie called Life from 2017. We got The Faculty of 1998. We got The Host of 2013. We got The Thing in 2011. And here's one I thought you guys would like. We got Venom 2018.
Ooh.
We also
fucking
have
Venom.
There you go. We also have the Animorphs TV show, movies, and books from 1998. So I thought you guys would like that one, Venom. It's kind of the same concept, alien type. Parasite has to go into the person, right? Live off the person, and is able to speak to them through their mind. Doesn't necessarily transmit or receive signals, but I haven't seen the new one yet, so I'm sure there's more links that we could tie to that. But so that is, boys, that is the Black Eyed Club mystery conspiracy. And yeah, go for gold.
Yeah. Well, there's so many different theories that you can hypothesize over which is more accurate or whatever, but like the fact that there's so many of them out there, it could also just help show that there is no transparency. There's a lot of holes that you could poke in all of this shit that's just unaddressed, just swept under the fucking rug. So no matter if you're right or you're right or you're right, something's going on, or else we wouldn't even be thinking like this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
There's obvious that, and that's kind of the point too about delivering it like this, is that we can all admit something's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless we're going to talk about thousands of coincidences happening. Something is going along with these elitists that looks and appears to be some sort of manipulation by a higher source of power that is controlling them. And that's why they have handlers, but these people can't say. And we could talk about the Britney Spears thing that's going on, Save Britney or whatever, and all the stuff she's gone to. And how when she, in one of her Instagram, I think it was Instagram, might have been Twitter, but one of the people were like, commented and were like, wear a yellow dress in your next photo if you need help. And Britney Spears posts her next photo and she's wearing this yellow dress. And that is not just a one-time thing. This has happened multiple times where people have been like, wear this, wear that, if you need fucking help. And that's where this Save Britney thing has came from, is because that people know. I mean, we all know, how these people are treated. They're manipulated from childhood, the horrible things that happen to them, and how they're controlled and owned by her father and the handlers that he has for her. But I mean, something else is going on other than just seems a little alien-like to me. You know what I mean?
It's a little suspect, Definitely a little suspect.
Oh, it is. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, Coincidence or not, I totally was in the middle of saying Marky Mark's name and everything shut down. So
Fuck it. Say it one more time. Fuck it. Let's try it one more time.
I can't, dude. If
Let's
I gotta
test it.
reboot this, I'm gonna be chopping up all sorts of audio later. All right. So, I mean, any more comments on that, boys? I think we're probably ready to move
Fucking
on.
Britney Spears, man. I used to, I'm not gonna hide it. I used to have posters of her in my fucking bedroom. I bought her album. She was my crush. Like I would destroy her. Yeah.
Listen here, everyone in here has looked up naked Britney Spears pictures before.
Oh,
they're all
yeah.
fake.
Guilty.
Oh, well, yeah, most of them, but
She's pretty cute. I can't deny that.
she is.
She could dance and sing. Like if she could sing while writing, yeah, hook it up. I just want like a free concert while she's on my lap.
Oh,
That's all I want.
she wouldn't be able to sing with what I'd be doing to her.
She'd
Just
be-
kidding. This is
she'd be
PG.
calling the cops.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I love you. You're sweet.
Baby, I'll
Sweet
be
girl.
your handler. I'll handle you. All right.
Let's see.
All right. So Jace has brought us something special today, I hear. And it sounds like he is having some computer problems. So he lost a lot of his
I
actual.
lost it all. I've
lost
been
it.
rebuilding it. I've been rebuilding what I could while I've been listening this whole time, but I had it all. I had all the notes written out, and then also my commentary to those notes, and it sucks because it's gone now.
Of course. But we're here for the ride, and it is now in your hands.
So what? I was listening to the radio today, and the Lars Larson show. He's mainly a Republican, but he provides a provocative talk show, and you can call in, and naysayers get to the front of the line. If you disagree with him or whatever, and he's able to talk to people about all these issues. And but they were talking about Afghanistan and how when we pulled out, we left all our equipment there. And then he was talking about how much over the years it was called the rebuilding of Afghanistan. Since 2003, we've been sending them money. Like I think in 2001, we sent them $81 million in training and equipment. Then $3 billion estimated just this year. But so I found this article is written on the 23rd of August this year, so pretty recent. And they break down all of this equipment. And since this is all equipment paid for taxpayers' dollars, we have a right to trace the receipts, see where it all goes. But shit. All right. So I'll just go over my notes here. So, we've given them shit tons of money, and then not helping transparency. The Biden administration is now hiding key audits on Afghan military equipment this week. Auditors at the openbooks.com reposted 2 key reports on the U.S. war chest and military gear and in the Afghanistan area, but it disappeared from the federal websites, the audit. Just miraculously this week on the 23rd, so a month ago. But then the Government Accountability Office audit of the U.S. provided military gear in Afghanistan was also removed. So all of these, so there's, I think 4 or 5 audits where, people are trying to see, all right, where did all this money go? And they're not giving us any of the information. And then the estimates that they do give us. So there's a vehicle, it's like a heavy armored vehicle. It's a M113A2. It's $170,000 per vehicle. We sent them 169 of those. That's 28.7 million. And there's, I did all the math. So the audit and everything that's available to us only shows for like a couple $100 million, but just doing less than a third of the math, it's already over like 10 billion. So there's, and then I don't know, this kind of pisses me off. One of the things for the Afghanistan, they're, women and children, we need to protect their rights, because after we went to Afghanistan, Iraq, we wanted to protect women. That was just part of the slogan, was to protect women and children. And we can't leave, we need to stay there longer or something, but we have to intervene and do it better. And then, we pull out all the troops, leave all the equipment there, basically handing it over to the Taliban. And now they're impeding on all these women and children's rights. And just, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, so they had a protest, a bunch of Taliban women, and they were just getting beat like by the butt of guns, lead pipes, whips, blunt objects, and just, some were killed. But it's like, we say we're, as America, we're here to defend freedom and we're trying to do good things, but all of our actions don't show that. There's such a lack of transparency. Can't believe a goddamn word they're saying. And I got this book. It's like the common law handbook, but there's so much shit that all of these actions and all of their failed accountability, it's all like criminal actions. We should be able to file suit against, the president, Pelosi, whoever you want, essentially, as long as they fit the picture in the description of criminal activity. And they do. They are, let's see here. See if I have it. It's like your unalienable rights, your freedom of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. And once your rights are impeded upon, then the law and legislation essentially has no bounds unless you give them authority to do so. And all of us are doing that. We're doing it blindly, and whether through coercion or propaganda. But the people really need to like stand up. And everyone talks about like a revolt, or it's whatever is going to happen, it's got to be violent. It's like, I don't think so. I think if enough like-minded individuals they played the game how everyone else is playing it. We're playing in a corrupt game. You can't get out of it. So we have to play it by the rules, and get them out of office, get them out of everywhere, put them in fucking jail, prison, whatever. But I don't know. People don't want to think for themselves or even ask questions. Like, ask questions. Just keep asking questions. That's all you have to do. And we're fucking doing the opposite.
Where's the pacifier?
I don't know if you guys listened to Biden's speech the other night. He is like, this isn't about your freedom. This is about protecting protecting the citizens. And it's not a pandemic of COVID. It's a pandemic of the unvaccinated. And it's like, I had to stop halfway through because I just get disgusted about what he's saying. Like, total dictatorship speech. And it's like, there's no like reaction videos to it. I mean, Fox News was the only one I seen that, even questioned it. But him rolling out a mandate to say any business over 100 employees has to have a vaccine. You can't even get tested anymore. Has to be a vaccine. They don't have the power to do that. And just the coercion that's going along with it, that is impeding on our freedoms, our freedom of our pursuit of happiness, safety, all that shit. That, like, just that speech alone, that's just one example. There's hundreds of them. But what the fuck? Like, sure, I can try and do it. I can try and figure out how to bring a lawsuit or a case against the institution. I don't know who exactly, but I don't know. It's overwhelming and also completely intriguing, because it's like, there's a problem, let's fix it. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Woo. Yeah, man. It's a shit show. And I think the best way to kind of split the hairs at the end from, like, in the beginning of what you were saying, is the idealism of America is to help and support, which, some people think we should stay out of other people's business, but we are all human and we're all together as a whole. We should all have each other's backs, no matter what fucking color you are, any of that shit, where you come from, what country you are. Countries are just borders with boundaries. And honestly, being a human to another human, no matter where the hell you are in the world, there is you don't have those boundaries, man. We all, but I think the difference is that the United States government and the people running it have a different fucking objective.
Yeah, run the fucking world.
Than what the people do, than the people going over there to fight. What the masses, the public believe is different than what they're actually doing.
But we need to remind the people need to be reminded that the grand jury, the justices, all of the elected officials, they only have power that we give them. and they are not allowed to change rules or make rules to help police or create policies against their people. They are there to help ensure that our rights are protected. And when they go against that, that's it's textbook, you're fired. You know what I mean? And people need to fucking wake up, you know, like it's fake woke. Been listening to Tom McDonald all day.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking just stupid people.
Well, what really gets me at the end of the day is when the government has all this money allocated to help foreign countries and all this shit, and then they've been in Africa trying to do all the shit they had, and then cancel everything. Fuck all these people over out of all this shit she promised. And then there's guys like Justin Wren, who's a Bellator fighter, and Akon, who's actually like helping Africa. Like Justin Wren's going to the Congo. He's making like self-sustaining wells for the pygmy people in Uganda so they could fucking get some of their land back because they're just slaves working for fucking food. Yeah, barely surviving.
Slaves working for our appliances, you know. Maybe not.
They're slaves of their own people.
Yeah.
They're actually slaves of their own people. They have, you know, the guerrilla warfare fucking guys just go through and fuck everybody. All the villagers, all the pygmy people and shit, they're just completely fucked.
Yeah. People don't realize how much slavery exists today. It's all over the world. And in South Africa, people don't realize how many slaves are there, or China, or, you know, like everywhere across the world, there's slaves, and it's happening today.
And
even here, really.
And so, like,
exactly.
It's just,
don't know if you guys heard in the news. I think it was Massachusetts, maybe, or Wisconsin, one of those two. A college there found a rock to be racist, right? And this rock was racist because it was like in 1925. There was one article where some random person referred to it as like the N-word rock. It was, and that's it.
Oh yeah, I know all about this.
But this, you know, there was a story. This college student was saying, "I just feel so oppressed every time I see it. It's just such a terrible thing." But it's like, it's a fucking rock.
That's
They
propaganda.
ended up getting the city to spend $50,000 to get that rock removed.
Yeah,
I mean, they could have taken a fucking jackhammer to it and, you know, done it in $40.
They could have been told to fuck off and stop being dramatic.
Well, that's the thing too, is a lot of these projects are very, very cheap projects, and they write them off for a couple $1 million and pay people out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like,
you know
so, you know, if you know, we got a closet full of problems, you know, everyone says like clean out your closet. So if we got our closet cleaned out, you want to get to the most important thing first. If what we're talking about now is racist rocks from 1925, things must be turning out pretty good, right? Because if that's all we have to worry about now, like the fucking like people need to open their eyes to real world issues. And, you know, like you talk about like oppression, my feelings. God, the fucking everyone is worried about their goddamn feelings. No one gives a shit. The world doesn't give a shit. Yeah. You know, we appreciate them. I love them.
Last week we were talking about the Yeonmi Park, the girl that defected from North Korea.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that last week. Her talking about everything that happened. She was talking about a little boy that was so fucked up, just hadn't eaten or drinking anything, and he was shitting his own guts out and begging for food, begging for water, and she just walks right by him because it's just a normal part of life. He said, "You're treated like cattle. You just act like cattle." You see that kind of shit every day. It's not out of the ordinary. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's something that would fucking traumatize and fucking, you know, destroy people mentally for a long time, and that was just everyday life for her at one point.
Like, do you think it's so? You know, I lived in a super small town of like 7,000 people. Moved to much bigger places. I got perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love small town. I've got perspective of big cities or bigger. We have the internet. We should have perspective of worldly affairs, at least to some degree. Do you think it's just like we've been so desensitized through the media in all forms or whatever forms that we just don't give a shit? We're so narcissistic that we can't understand what's going on in other people's lives other than, oh, my feelings hurt, praying is a microaggression type shit.
Well, where in the news do you see real problems actually being portrayed? All you see is
my shit cut off.
Here's a racist rock, here's a racist bridge, here's a racist whatever. You'd think that the world would be such a great place that we're like micro whatever about shit, which I think that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And you're right when it comes to the money part, because these cities have been locked down for a year and a half. They got to spend that money in order to get more money next year. So they're like, fuck it, let's break down the rock in the most expensive way we can. But you don't see it on the news. What you see is propaganda. And these people love their first world country life. They love living not how they are. If they saw what was going on, they wouldn't know what to do. You know what I mean? And it is our job in a way, and we do have the responsibility, but people are being told that the biggest problem we have is a fucking virus with a 99.8% survival rate.
Nope. Actually, the biggest problem we're being told is white American males. That
too. Yeah.
But, because if, now
white
you're a bad
rage.
person. Yeah, you're automatically racist. You're born to privilege. You can't understand it because you're born to privilege. So you don't understand racism. You don't understand. It's like we're arguing and fighting each other most stuff's over petty shit.
Keep us
but
distracted.
Yeah, but it's like how do you so if a sheep is distracted and they're arguing over fucking rock, you can't teach stupid. You know what I mean? So you have to pretend to be stupid. You have to play stupid to talk to stupid. How the fuck do you do that? How do you flip that switch to be like, oh, there's another shiny rock over here. This is a nice rock. Let's go play with that one. And get the fuck over it. It's, the quote unquote, mostly peaceful protests in Portland, it was fucking rioting. And
I was there for that, actually.
Say again?
I was in Portland during the 2016 presidential Trump inauguration and during a BLM protest in Portland.
Oh, dang. Yeah, I had some jobs down there, and it was hella sketch. But it's like, everyone who's breaking in, robbing, hurting, innocent people, like small town business owners, or not small town, but just everyday citizens, they're fucking destroying it and saying, oh, well, BLM. They're so proud and they're protesting and they're fighting for rights. When then we see the women in Afghanistan getting beaten with the butt of guns, by the Taliban, where they may lose their lives to actually, they're protesting for something that matters, and they are actually putting their lives on the line. And but no, the BLM protests or the riots they're way more important. In January 6th, that was the worst thing ever. That riot, that's considered a riot, but 100 days of destruction and pain and suffering is protesting, and they don't have to wear masks for it, but everyone else does. Like go ahead.
I gotta put something into perspective just for documentary purposes. So like smart people, when they deal with actual racism, because actual racism does exist, but in my point of view, all racism is hate. You're never going to get rid of hate. At least, and I've always said, like, if someone was just going to hate me because of the color of my skin, that's cool. At least they're not going to hate me for like my personality. You know what I mean? Or like a real reason to feel bad about somebody hating you. But so like smart people that would understand this, and let me configure everyone's brain real quick. You wouldn't want, if this rock was called the N-word rock, you wouldn't want to remove that rock. If anything, you'd want to make it stay there forever, as long as possible, as a Black person, because you want that as a reminder to the people around you that this was at one point in time a symbol of racism,
and we overcame it.
It will remind people of that, and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
but see,
all rock lives matter. I want to say that. That's not that rock's fault.
Amen.
But
amen.
But for real, like, you don't want to delete that so somebody can go find another rock and call it, you know what I mean?
But that's just one example. But see, you would have to dumb yourself down so much to have a conversation with that person who's offended over the rock. It's like you'd be doing yourself a disservice at that point, I feel. And a similar situation with all those protests going on. They were just tearing down and destroying all these statues that they verified was racist. But it's like, if you want to show a point and you want to be heard and you want people to understand you and come support you, go the right way about it. Go to the city council, talk to them, say, hey, we got this thing, we don't like it. Can we get this solved, as a community? But when you just act childish, throw a temper tantrum because you deserve this or that, it's like everyone's playing victim, and that's a trend. And on top of cancel culture being a trend, it's like, throw your fucking feelings out of it. Think logically. If you want something done, let's talk about it. You know, let's just talk. And we can get a lot of shit done. Then silence.
Sorry, I'm doing something so the Zoom meeting doesn't end in 10 minutes. I gotta purchase it, I guess. Dude, it is crazy. And everything like it's all meant to distract and conform people to fight each other because they want us distracted from the real problems in the world as they're making it worse. And with the whole money thing and the whole, you know, like, I mean, imagine being, you know, the best country in the world and leaving billions of dollars worth of equipment in a, you know, shithole that you're leaving just to give it to your enemies that ones at one time, quote unquote, allegedly fucking blew up 9/11. And they did it right before 9/11, which, by the way, today's the anniversary of 9/11. And so, I mean, give some tribute for that. We should to the fallen people, and it was like 3,000, about, you know, a little bit under 3,000 people, but someone's got to jump in with you while I fill this out.
Yeah, no, I got another thing that I wrote down earlier. So it was something in this common law handbook, and it's basically like common law handbook for jurors, sheriffs, bailiffs, and justices. And it's sort of, I can't even tell you. It just gives you a bunch of information. I can't tell you how it's laid out, really. I'm not good with words, but it's laid out pretty well. There's a lot of information. And just on fucking page 9, there was something that's pretty good. Is the common law is the real law, the supreme law of the land. The code, rules, regulations, policy, and statutes are not the law. Self versus Ray, 61 WN 2D case 261. Legislated statutes enforced upon the people in the name of the law are fraud. They have no authority and are without mercy. And I'm just going to cut to okay. Lawmakers were given the authority by the people to legislate codes, rules, regulations, and statutes, which are policies, procedures, and law to control the behavior of bureaucrats, elected and appointed officials, municipalities, and agencies. But they're never given the authority to control the behavior of the people. As we read in the Supreme Court decision, all codes, rules, and regulations are for government authorities only, not humans/creators in accordance with God's laws. You know, with the Constitution, it's, you know, God is sort of involved with that shit. All codes, rules, and regulations are unconstitutional and lacking due process. And this was a case, Rodriguez versus Ray Donovan. And then again, all laws, rules, and practices which are repugnant to the Constitution are null and void, which was a Marbury versus Madison 5th U.S. Court. But it's like, you know, I'm just dipping into this, so I don't know much. I'm pretty much ignorant, but there's
no more than I do.
You know, and it when laws and rules and practices are put into place by our elected government, which doesn't coincide with the obligations that they're, you know, supposed to be adhering to, they're null and void. But we give them consent through manipulation, distraction, you know, whatever else, and we screw our fucking selves over. But like, what's it? What they say? Something's in the pudding. The bread's in the pudding. The
proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding.
Oh,
like,
I thought it was the penis was in the pudding.
That's
No,
Well, you know, sometimes it
that's
is.
my second choice.
you know,
Sometimes
That's
I
Bill
put it in the
Cosby.
pudding.
and it's like there's so much proof in their fucking pudding. It's like tapioca. You could see it everywhere. You know what I mean?
Well, it starts out as chocolate and ends up looking like tapioca.
Ugh. Mine looks like chocolate strawberry when I'm done. Little blood.
That's beautiful.
What was that? It's like
My dreams are gonna be great tonight.
fucking moved into this apartment and got met by the neighbor, and immediately I'm moving in, like we're carrying a couch. He's like, "Hey, you want to smoke some weed?" Like, I didn't even fucking know this guy. Random dude. He had maybe 8 or 9 teeth total. He was like, "You want to smoke some weed?" I'm like, "I'm good right now, thanks." And then somehow he brought up a joke like, you know, if there's grass in the field, play ball, and if not, it's okay to play in the mud too. But it's like, damn, like already talking about butt sex. Like, I just met you, bro. But you know, nope. Good times.
Wait. What the
So you're
fuck
telling
did
me
you
he
just say to
offered
me?
sex and weed and didn't go over?
What was that?
No,
Valid point. Valid.
Oh, I didn't hear it. What did he say?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know either?
He said he talked about butt sex and weed, and he still didn't go over.
Oh.
No, we invited him in afterwards for
there you go.
we smoked afterwards.
It's
but-
like one of them videos. He's like, this guy offered me weed and butt sex for a fucking bag of, and he give me a
You
bag
guys
of
fuck too?
chips. And he's all,
Yeah.
He's all-
And then he's eating a bag of chips.
yeah.
He told me he loved me.
Yeah, they're fucking crazy. I kicked him out of here real quick.
I
He's
thought we were
eating the
playing soccer here, motherfucker. Why's my ass hurt?
Yeah.
Oh God, dude, I know.
So, but pulling up the the U.S. debt clock,
Oh,
like
fuck.
with all of the unaccounted for and redacted information just from Afghanistan, that could be one of the major reasons why we are all in debt. Well, as the United States is in a national debt, and it's like it would be nice if we could propose a law or legislation or whatever it's called to have some sort of tracking or tracing to our taxes. So when you pay taxes, we get to choose where it goes. You know what I'm saying? If you want to pay for the schools, sure, you pay a percentage period, but it can go wherever you want, towards a goal. But
Ooh, I thought of that.
we've got billions and trillions of dollars unaccounted for, and the government won't give it to us for every fucking reason in the book. Like they work for us. You know what I'm saying? But that's not on the news. Let's just talk about some other bullshit. Like, we have all these very clear-cut issues that if groups gathered for a year, they can brainstorm, think tank, start figuring stuff out to add some reform, get it done. But the distractions are so fucking good everywhere. You know what I mean?
You gotta take your country back first before all that. And all of our taxes, they don't go to the government, they go to the World Bank, which is a privately owned company, which dishes it out to our government the amount that they want. I mean, let me remind you too that
I'm not worrying about my
right
pimp's
before-
pimp. I'm just worrying about my pimp.
So hold up. So right before 9/11, or during that same exact time, like 3 days, right? The fucking Pentagon had lost it's like I think it was 3 point something trillion fucking dollars, and they're like, the people are like, well, where did it go? And
it was all it was all transported in a truck underneath in their railway or their roadways underneath, and we don't know who moved the truck. Like, how do you someone can't load tons of gold by themselves? Like, they can't do it.
The Afghanistan war was a money laundering experiment, which was also used to gain mineral rights and oil rights.
Shit. I mean, the Freedom Act, where they can throw anyone in Guantanamo Bay without due process or anything.
Mhm.
And 20 years later, we are still in a what is it, like a state of emergency for terrorism or whatever. So they shouldn't we at some point revoke those powers that we once granted them for that short time? Like, we
I
gave
think
them
we
the
should have
powers to do
cameras
things.
in there. I know exactly what happens in Guantanamo. They torture, beat the ever living shit out of you, and the whole time, everything they do to you, they're screaming, "Where is the oil? Where is it?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Where are they?
Where are they?"
bad
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I said in the beginning. Like, the fucking government is doing this maniacal, horrible shit while also like creating 9/11 and telling you it's a good reason to go over there and quote unquote fight terrorists for 20 years when we could have wiped them out in a matter of fucking minutes. I mean, fuck, you know what I mean? I say what we should have done is just put all the civilians on boats that we're going to leave, right? Drive them out to an open island, or whatever, fly them out somewhere, just hold them. And as soon as those goddamn, the Taliban or whatever, if they, if they're not, they're obviously being funded by the United States government, obviously, they'd all come running into that city. All the people are gone, right? They're like, fuck you, American. Fuck you. We got your shit. And then we just fucking drone strike the ever living shit out of that city. We built it. Why can't we? You know what I mean? We built the fucking place. Why can't we? But it's not about that. It's about and that's why the Pentagon sent out Joe Biden's private phone call with the at the time Afghanistan president was because they were pissed as shit that they couldn't continue their drama, because they're like, hey, well, we just money laundered out that almost $4 trillion, probably trillions and trillions and trillions more since then during the 20 years, but they're pissed that they can't continue doing it. It all goes back to the World fucking Bank, which is owned by like a couple fucking families.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, so the three families that run the world hypothetically, we ain't ever getting to them. So if we can make them think we're playing their game, but if they could think they're in control, but if we could take back control of the United States, we can get back control of our government and our rights. We could worry about the next fight later. We could worry about, Papa John later, but like getting the political scheme, the whole fucking, it's just a rigmarole. Like, Democrats, all Republicans are racist, they're bad people. And, it's vice versa. Everyone's just attacking each other, but they're not coming up with solutions. Like it's common sense that you just see two parties arguing for years. All right, well, you're both fucking wrong. Let's work together and actually get this shit done. And if we got the entire United States on board, with everyone, instead of being divided, if we were all united, like, then we could start making changes, on the grander scale. But I don't know, we've got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? One hoop at a time.
Yeah, man. I'm so glad that you're actually taking the initiative to learn, to read this book and learn the actual state of laws. I mean, and they all derive from what is called, our God-given rights.
Yeah.
And
yep.
And when you break it down, it doesn't matter if you believe in God or anything. It's your God-given rights. You know what I mean? And I tell these people, like, on the daily, like, because they're like, oh, you're anti-vax. For one, I'm not anti-vax. I'm not anti-anything, except I'm an anti-dipshit is 150%. I'm sorry. Like, even though I'm, like, a little bit of a dipshit, I'm not, like, dedicated to being one. So I tell them, I'm like, it's your right to wear a mask. It's your right to take a vaccine. In California, it's your right to shit on the fucking sidewalk. It's your
right to make a choice.
Down the road,
it's your right to personal freedom.
Shoot up heroin in the middle of an intersection.
That was you. Don't lie. That was you.
That was not me. So, fuck. I wish. I'm just playing. But I mean, you have so many rights. It's your right to be afraid. It's your right to not be afraid. It's your right to believe the news that's coming out. It's your right to not investigate. It's your right to investigate. But I tell them, I'm all for masks. It's your right, bro. But do not tell me I need to wear one. Do not tell me I got to get a vaccine. Do not tell me that I got to put a fucking face shield on my kid to send her to school. Do not tell me what to do, and I will not tell you what to do. That is America. And I love the Hodge twins. You either believe in the Constitution or you don't. You either believe in freedom or you fucking don't.
So
there's no middle.
Like there's one of these, so I don't know what it stands for. USC, something code, I'm guessing. US codes. It's right in front of me. So US code 18, section 241, conspiracy against rights. If two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. So being, or, this Biden addressment that he had yesterday or the day before, forcing his power that he doesn't have, but he's going to do everything he can to try and force us to do it. That is an oppression, and that is intimidation. That's threatening our personal freedoms. Like, and right there, like, the fuck is you doing, boy? Like, but you watch all those. I don't know if you guys watch those, but they'll call on the reporters who they're allowed to ask questions and shit. And like this, the video
pre-made questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fox News guy, he was able to ask a question, and he was talking about, did Biden press I don't know if it was China or Japan's leader on certain topics, but then he got another second question in there, like snuck it in, and he was like, so did don't lose this. That's what she said.
It just slips, bro. But it's
So
You got
he
this,
was
man.
so he was so they were talking about the COVID vaccinations and the push for getting everyone vaccinated, and you don't have the option to get tested anymore. And it's, what are you waiting for? They're tested, they're safe. Only 1 in 167,000 per group have serious issues with the vaccine. So what, 167,000, let's divide that by the number of vaccinated, and then get the accurate number of people daily who are having injuries. But at least it'd be 1 in every 176,000.
Are we using regular math or that shit they're teaching our kids today?
No, regular
All right,
math.
I can figure that shit out.
American math.
All right.
We don't use metrics, but
It ain't
he's
even metrics. It's unicorn fairy tale.
What the fuck is metrics anyway? Come on.
he was talking about the vaccines and shit and how they're pushing that for us. But then he's like, okay, so if that's the case for American citizens, all of them that you've so identified, what about the hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants who are coming in? Is it safe to say that they have a different set of standards, that they don't have to get vaccinated? And I don't remember, I fucking hate her name, Jen Psaki or whatever it is, but she's like that. He's like, so am I get to get this straight, that illegal immigrants have a different set of rules and aren't obligated to get the vaccine? That is correct. And then she immediately goes to someone else. Like, she's just like,
It's fucking retarded.
But
Fucking retarded.
That's a huge statement. That's very because it shows that they're not testing them. They're not getting them vaccinated.
Fuck, are you American? You think you fight Chinese orders?
But
We
that'll
make
be all.
this decision, not you. Fuck you. Where's your answer?
Yeah.
Your questions, Fox News. Fuck you, long time. Fuck you. Don't ask question again.
Yeah, fuck them, dude. This is
Yeah.
some bullshit. You're right. And honestly, did you notice? So I'm gonna point this out because you haven't said it yet. So excuse me. The next day after Biden did his big event, which he was late for, because they had to drag him in with fucking an ice cream cone to get him to even come. And he also walked off. They had to track him down. He's a hard one to get. I mean, if anyone's dodging, the American population, it's him. But Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris both, they the next day came out and both pretty much said that we cannot mandate vaccines on people. It is your health choice. It is this and that and that and this. And I'm like, wow, you guys almost sound like
Yeah.
Republicans.
Biden's, before like right around the time they were first rolling out the first vaccines, Biden was saying, we're not going to mandate it. We won't do that. An interview with Fauci was saying, we would never do that. It's not likely. We wouldn't ever do that. And then it's like all of these people on his administration saying we would never do that. And then now they're doing that. It's like, we're not going to leave Afghanistan until we know all of the U.S. citizens and
we're not
people are safe.
There.
Yeah, we're not going to leave there until we know everyone's coming and safe. No, we're going to leave them there.
The Taliban's my homie. They're not going to come on and do it. Yeah, I believe that what is going on is they're setting Joe Biden up to get taken out. So Kamala and Nancy are both scratching their fingertips on that chalkboard in order to get to be president, because their egos are what's leading them, and they want to be the first woman president. But also, we're screwed if either of them get in. But that's the next stage. You guys think it's bad now?
No, my thought on that is so I don't know what to even look up. I don't know how to start the search engine. So if that happens, it comes to fruition, how do we get her out of office? It's like, how do we kick out the president, the vice president, and what happens to the United States? Do we go on a hiatus? Do we go on hold till we come up with a new election? What do we do? What happens if we are able to get those two people out? What's next? How does that work?
I just say good luck. What's going to happen is a revolution. People are going to wake up the more stuff that's going on. I can't believe they actually said that. I'm like, you guys almost sound like patriots, but it's for an agenda. It's all agendized. And there is
Yeah, but-
hard people like totally for them, and they're either gonna wake up, or they're gonna fall. Like I told somebody the other day, I'm like, the propaganda is gonna like fall through and live its life out. If you know what I mean, like go ahead and keep doing what you're doing. Don't ask questions. Don't investigate yourself, and it's gonna run its lifetime. You know what I mean? Like it's going to go and do exactly what's going on here. And I mean, it's so hard to exactly pinpoint what's going on. Like some China elites and something's
man.
coming.
I didn't
Something big is coming.
I didn't tell you, Austin. Did I tell JBL? It was I heard this, like it sounded like an aircraft, but it lasted like 3 minutes, and the entire apartment building was shaking. And it, like when an airplane goes by, you hear it. It's a common sound, you can understand it.
Yeah.
This was so much deeper, bigger. There's nothing in the sky, but the entire apartment was shaking. I went outside and like my head was shaking. Like it felt like something like a fuck.
Allegedly, there was nothing in the sky.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
It's
you
like-
saying that. That was
it's
heavy.
like that. Like I've never been a big alien believer. I'm like, well, what if? It could be. But I've never been completely for or against it. It's just show me the proof and I'll make a decision. But that gives me just something to think about, because like I'm not crazy. I don't know what the fuck happened, but this was not a normal experience, and it was so fucking. It was otherworldly. Like I'm not even kidding. It's like I was standing out there. The noise got louder, so it's like it almost sounds like you can't hear your own voice if you spoke, because there's just that much vibration in the air, and it just continued and it grew. And then it's like, am I going to pass out? And like, what the fuck's happening? I don't know. But with the lack of luster after the announcement of all the UFO information that we were supposed to be getting, it's maybe they gave them more free room to fly around and then just aren't telling us about it. You know what I mean? UFOs and shit. I don't know.
No, it's coming, man. It's coming. And they're introducing to us slowly, so it's gonna happen sooner or later. What was
I'd
that?
lose my
Go
mind.
ahead.
I was gonna say I'd lose my fucking mind if like walk outside and that happens. Like an alien comes down, like I'd probably just shit myself or pass out. Like just because
what
like
do you do, right? What do you do? It's like, what the fuck is going on right now?
yeah. As long as I don't wake up in a gurney, tied down with like leather straps or something. Just
Yeah.
like
As you're going in and out, fucking just black. Yeah. Who mentioned? Somebody mentioned that. Somebody mentioned Project Blue Beam is in effect. I think might have been
I've definitely done that.
That was you, right? Yeah, that was you, right? Yeah, I was like, fuck, let's go.
Yeah, false alien invasion, and they've had them crafts for forever, and this like I said earlier, about 3% of what the government tells you is the actual truth. So these ships that they're portraying, there is real alien ships, don't get me wrong. Everyone likes to pick a side and be like, oh, there's no aliens, it's the government. No, it is the government, but there are aliens, and most likely that there is a subclass of aliens, a C tier of aliens running the population, and an A tier of aliens actually is visiting and trying to come through. And we're talking about multidimensional beings as well, just like Sasquatch. I mean, so it's so hard to like speak on it until you like break it down in multiple episodes of, I don't know, a beautiful podcast called the Collective Minds Podcast. So I'm working towards this. These are things we will cover, but yes, it's hard to wrap your mind around the enormity of everything that's going on, and the possibilities and the coincidence after coincidence. So like ultimately, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I plan to do, is help break these things down into ways not to tell you what's really going on, but to open your mind and let you think for yourself and choose your own things that you believe in and that stuff. But I mean, we are all of it. I mean, we have the problems of the daily life that we go through. We have the problems of our leaders, quote unquote, even bigger quote on elected, leaders that are doing these things in the real world. And then we have the problem of like, do we even know what's really happening? That they're telling us is the problem. And then we got the problem above that, which is like the people running it, or like what's going on, or like, are they preparing to just destroy the people and take over control and turn us into like concentration camp slaves? Or is something coming? Why is this happening? What's the actual outcome of this?
That's just another backer to say that we need a change, because if the majority of Americans are already inclined to believe that everything we're told has a narrative or an objective, already. So it's like the media is controlled by everything, so you don't know what to believe. And it's when everyone is in a state of that, when we can't even trust anything our government says and or the media, because they are in cahoots with the government, we need a change. Like it's not a free society. It's fucking bullshit. America, support our troops. But
it's all I mean, it's all got truth to it, and it's all bullshit. And it just, you got to break down each layer at a time. Ogres are like onions, fucking world is just like fucking an ogre, bro. You got to break it down. And you did a great fucking job with this. Pretty much what's going fucking on is illegal as shit. And that's only on the base center of like, this is what they're telling us is true. And if we believe the truth, it's illegal as shit. But behind the curtain, half of it's not even what's really actually going on, are the objectives of what they're doing, which also is illegal as shit. And I agree. Waking up people is a big thing. A lot of people will never wake up. And, I believe a lot of people are, I've said this before, but I believe like God only created so many amount of souls, and we have more people on the planet than we ever have. A lot of people like to say there's robots walking around us, demons, aliens, all sorts of stuff. And I personally believe that what is going on is so interchangeable among species, I guess we could say, and that certain things affect things differently, and that there's always a game behind the curtain of the game behind the curtain of the game behind the curtain. And yes, it is our duty to be able to stand up and fix the things in front of us that we can. But there's a lot of people you're not going to be able to change. And as this shit goes on, I believe people are waking up, because honestly, there is this soul-given thing about Americans that is, we will die for this country. We will die for our people. We will die for our rights. Even though there hasn't been some giant crazy uptick of like crazy stuff happening, I believe when it comes down to it, that the American people will stand up, not just for themselves, but the entire world, and will put their foot down and will give their lives to save everything, and following the beliefs, the rights, everything that makes us American. Because one thing that they've done while brainwashing us our entire lives is teaching us what it means to be a goddamn American.
Well, and at least our generation, but none of the new generations are going to have any of that. You know what I mean? They're pledging allegiance to a LGBTQZNY.
Pledge allegiance to the fag, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's like, once you're 18, do whatever you want with your body, but it's just, we need to, like, the power of the federal government is so fucking strong. And I know there's more, it's all puppeteering, but one step at a time, knock out the puppets, replace the puppets with our puppets, be a, wolf in sheep's clothing, move up. And then, I don't know. It's
hard to throw in that teacher was fired, by the way.
Yeah.
The teacher that replaced the American flag with the LGBTQ, which Q stands for question, which also means fucking pedophile. So but she was fired. I mean, you gotta say that, because it sounds like everything at the end seems to play itself out right in just like the smallest way, where you're like, all right, you know what I mean? There still isn't America.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many people in the world, and you never know when you meet someone at what side they're leaning, to freedom or do as you're told. And I'm sort of like, I don't know. more libertarian in the sense where it's like I want to live my life how I want to fucking live it. I don't need the government involved with anything. They need to be involved as little as possible with my
Exactly. And
which
that's
was
why I'm independent. I would most likely be a Republican, but after seeing what the Republicans have done, I can't identify with that anymore. I love the idea of what's it called, libertarian. But the thing that pisses me off about these people is that I get it, they don't have as much power as left or right, but they are like it seems like the left and right are like two kids fighting. You know what I mean? And the libertarians could be the parents that like go to your fucking room. You know what I mean? And like call them out. You know,
I think it's like, so the left and the right. So Cinderella story. The left and the right are the evil stepsisters, and your libertarians are Cinderella. She ain't got no shot. Stepmother hates her. You know, so the puppet master hates libertarians. They hate any other party. So even if it wasn't libertarians, if it was an independent or anyone else, they'd get shot down. They'd have just as much luck as the libertarians.
I mean, all left and right, every fucking political group named and fought for a political group is controlled by the elite. So I think that libertarians are made to catch the people in the middle that have, because most of the people in the middle are like 100% conscious. They understand, they know the problems of both sides, they understand everything, but I still think it's there. And the reason it doesn't have such a loud voice and an impact is because those are the most important fucking people. So they have leaders and everything, and they're right, and they are the most right out of the left or the right. They're the most fucking like that, like have the righteousness, like they are actually, their opinions are fucking 150% legitimate, true, and they have the backup for it. But their leadership is so quiet and hides in the corner to be able to suppress those voices. You know what I mean? So they will, it's just like Joe Rogan, how I say, like, he is good at conspiracies, but I think he is a CIA gatekeeper, meaning that he is there to catch smart people that are diving down a conspiracy and realize there's something fucking going on here, right? There's something not right with this. Well, Joe Rogan will point them in a direction to become neutral at the end of it.
Well, and part of the problem with the whole political structure that just never gets brought up is it's always Democrat versus Republican. That's black versus white. That's separating us. That's segregation, and
division.
That in itself is going to create division. And we need to be able to, like, in my perfect world, all right, elections are coming up. 20 different people can go, and none of them are required to identify themselves as a certain team or a certain definition that's just predefined by everyone else. There doesn't have to be a definition. It could be so loose and wide, varied, different ideas, thoughts, and we just bring all the best ideas together, and that's what we should use. You know what I'm saying? Like, so everyone argues, left and right and Democrat, like both sides have good points, but we're now fighting each other instead of working together, and we're choosing to fight each other as if we're going to win. That's not a game you win. It's stupid. Wake up.
Dude, they're doing this. It's perfectly going out as planned. But everybody needs to realize that these motherfuckers work for us. All right, we fucking supposedly fucking voted them in. They work for us, as if everybody just fucking banded together, like how some other fucking countries are doing right now. They wouldn't be able to do this shit. We need to fucking band together and fucking take these bitches down. These guys are just fucking, they're just having their way with us, dude. They're reaching. So they're trying to go, what am I trying to say? They'll do something and then see how far they can push. And then, then people push a little bit back, and then, okay, all right, we'll let you have this a little bit. And then they'll fucking push again. It's like, fuck them, dude. Everybody needs to fucking wake the fuck up and band together and just push these bitches out, dude. Get them the fuck out. This pisses me the fuck off. Yeah, sorry. It pisses me off, dude.
I mean, and like I've thought about this type of stuff for a long time, and one of my first thoughts was it was obviously
I need to get them the fuck out because there's quite the possibility that they're not humans and running the people that run us with little worms that they put in their left eye.
But it's like we violence won't be the way. If violence is required, then it has to be. Then it's necessary. Use it if it's necessary, but by all means, we should try and do it legally. You know what I mean? If you get 100,000 people outside, one of these Supreme Courts, and we are making these demands, but we're not shooting people, we're not holding people hostage, but we do it the right way. When you got hundreds of thousands of people wanting a change, it'll have to change. Something will have to happen. And unless they declare martial law, which in case it's going to be a little fucked up, but if necessary. But if we can get them out, legally, that's where my mind's at right now. Like thinking, fuck, I was thinking, fuck, I want to go get like cybersecurity and computing stuff. And it's like, well, that's the new age grunt work. That's the new age laborer, a man doing a laboring job. That's what coding and tech is now. That's the new labor. I don't want to fucking do that. So I was thinking fucking law. Let me go to law, learn some shit so I can fucking sue these motherfuckers. Like,
there you go.
I wouldn't get a nice house. It would only be for my own selfish person, fucking shit. But what else could we do? Like, what else actually has an end game rather than just phase 1, steal underpants, phase 2, phase 3, profit. We got to have a phase 2.
We hold our ground. That's what we do.
Yeah. I mean, we try to beat them at their own game.
We hold our ground and we do not budge.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get my little Hawaiian friends to quit wearing that damn mask, even though the total Nazi regime's going on over there. And I think I broke through yesterday with Nathan. I mean, he stood in that line with no mask. Next time though, he's got to try it in the damn grocery store.
That's the one, dude.
Everyone
You gotta try it in the
yeah.
grocery store, man. That's the one. Outside is no problem. They don't bother you outside. When you jump into the grocery store, that's when they fucking hound on your ass.
Well, you're religiously exempt too, because you with any religion, I mean, well, Christianity or especially, but we are made in the image of God, and to like, it's like taking a picture of Jesus and scratching his face out, you know what I mean, or putting a mask on him. You're defecating on the religion, you know what I mean? And then you also have the First Amendment, the right of speech and freedom of expression. That's why we have t-shirts that say, like, fuck you piece of shit, and you don't go to jail for it. So my freedom of expression does not include wearing a mask.
Do you guys have sheriffs in Hawaii?
Yes, we do.
Like
mostly for military.
I want to be a Hawaiian sheriff.
In this book that a guy was
Hawaiian sheriff.
Well, I'm like, fuck, do we even need a sheriff on an island? But the county sheriff is the last line of defense when it comes to upholding and defending the Constitution.
Third world state is this.
The sheriff's duties and obligations go far beyond writing tickets, arresting criminals, and operating jails. The sheriff has the obligation to protect the constitutional rights of citizens in our counties. This includes the right to freedom of speech, right to assemble, right to bear arms, and the rest of the oath that they took. But it's like, fuck, sheriffs are we got to find the sheriffs that'll be on our side, because they are, you know what I mean? They're in the position of power where their voice will be heard more so than an average Joe. But I don't know.
That's the guys we need. No, exactly, dude. That's the guys we need. And I didn't mean to come off as the way as like, let's fucking get our guns out and just fucking start shooting people.
No.
We need to beat them at their own game. But the fucking problem is we try to do that and they still fucking over us.
We need to be the guy sitting on his front porch in a rocking chair, oiling his shotgun. That's who we need to be.
Well, yeah, but we just don't. We want to do the best we can. But whatever we do,
it's hard, dude.
I think that we don't want to be putting ourselves in a position from our actions to where we are looking over our shoulder. We don't want to. Whatever we do, we want to prevent that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a juggling act, with your actions and then what the fuck's going to happen afterwards.
Like a fucking wolf in sheep's clothing. You gotta be you gotta act like that. You gotta play the game, just real subtle, but and do what you can do on the side. It's hard. It's a hard balance, man. I agree.
We can no longer though sit here and be, because you don't want to look over your shoulder, but we can no longer sit here as fucking big daddy government looks over our shoulder.
It looks down on us, fucking
spits
on our back while they're raping us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you
Well,
like
what you
that?
doing?
Yeah.
What you doing, man? You taking that vaccine? You wearing that mask? You
Yeah.
what are you doing? What are you doing right now? What are you listening to what we're telling you? Which doesn't make any sense. And it's
Dude,
all propaganda. What are you
everybody's
doing?
walking weird in Hawaii because everybody's getting fucked. Everybody's walking. Everybody's got this hobble because I already know everybody's getting fucked in the. And
Oh,
it's
for real?
super bad here. It's really bad here, man. Within the next week, I don't know what's gonna happen. I work on the military bases, so they're probably gonna. My job just emailed us, and they're gonna send us the rules and restrictions on what we got to do. And I probably got to get tested, and if not, I'm not sure what's gonna happen.
God, and I don't know how long it'll last for citizens, but the Biden administration said that for federal employees, they are not going to allow religious exemption, and that if you choose that route, you will be it's like let go indefinitely.
I'm probably done then because I'm considered what is that? A contractor of the military, federal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm probably fucked, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm gonna try everything I can. Maybe they'll move routes, or I don't know. Maybe I gotta look for another job. But all I know is I'm not fucking taking it. So they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, and it's like at least so it's like you need the freedom of choice, but then also at least give people so like if they want us to get the vaccine, it's like you can't just be breathing down our neck the whole time. You got to give us a week to think about it, to be able to go over the information, wait till it comes out, and then maybe we'll come back. But with someone just are you ready? You ready? It's like, get the fuck out of here. That's not the role of our government. That's not the fucking role.
Yeah. I mean, somebody was telling me if you just tell your job, since you're requiring me to take this vaccine, if I want to quit one day, can you take it out of me? Because I'm taking this vaccine for you, to be continue to employ here. If when I'm done, can this be taken out of me? And then it puts them in a hard spot. I don't know how true that is, if you can even use that.
It doesn't sound like it would work. Like even if
it does not, but
but I mean, it's
look at all your options.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm probably not going to use it, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, are you going to? So if I have any legal issues, are you going to be holding yourself 100% accountable?
Yeah, if something happens to me, if I get some kind of side effect, or I fucking die, or whatever, what's gonna happen there?
Yeah, and it's like I was going to look up the numbers for tonight. I just not remembered, but I wanted to compare the number of deaths in America from heart attack, cancer, and other stuff, just to compare it. You know what I mean? Because I bet those numbers are still like.
Dude, we're gonna break that down soon, dude. The numbers in 2020 never changed. So
Biden was fucking saying that. Oh my God, he said some crazy number, like millions of Americans have died from COVID already. Like,
it's fucking bullshit.
He did too. He did too. And only like 650,000, but actually Joe Rogan proves this, where like 95% of those or whatever
overweight
were not only that, but they had 4 or more comorbidities. 85% of the comorbidities, one of them was the flu. So actually it replaced the flu deaths for the year. The death numbers never changed. So and these numbers are all boosted anyway, but if you break down the actual scientific fact of it, only 30,000 people in the entire United States in 2020 died from COVID, and that's after the inflation purposes that they did. Only 30,000 people the entire year of 2020 died from COVID. But that's inflation. So probably only like, let's say half, 15,000 people actually only died from it. But yet they swear we're in a pandemic, right?
Well, and I just read a couple on the same topic, so I trust it. But in his speech, he said that our hospitals are getting overrun. We may have to look to ways to
bleep out, or is that my internet?
patients, and
they're using that in Hawaii.
But it's like the statistics show that there's about 20% of the beds money. All these hospitals got buckets of money. They didn't do anything. They didn't improve the hospitalization capacity. They didn't do any of that shit. So it's like, where'd the fucking money go? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
A couple people's pockets.
Yep.
Well, the other side of that
Exactly.
argument is, if all these people are dying, why aren't the morgues, funeral homes like overrun? Like they're not booked months behind, or you have to book months ahead just to bury your loved one. But
Oh, you didn't know they're stacking them in freezer trucks and feeding them to people like Soylent Green. That's a joke. just so that's a fucking joke. Yeah, exactly. And they never ran out of caskets. They never the entire United States, they never built a fucking cemetery the whole year. They never extended even a cemetery. Like these, I had a liberal friend. I didn't realize he was such a dumbass. Well, I should have, because he told me that President Obama was the best president we ever had. So I should have taken it. I should have took the signs. But you know what I mean? Like, this was before everything. This was years ago. And he's like, Austin, I helped people stack those bodies in those trucks. And I was like, dude, you're full of shit, dude. for one, you're a cook.
Yeah.
You cook food, you asshole. You didn't stack no fucking bodies in the back of no fucking truck. For three, that fucking only lasted a couple days, and like they took pictures of the inside of the truck right before the door was closed and they were leaving, and they had like 2 or 3 bodies in them. Go fuck yourself. If those bodies were full of anything, it goes back to the first episode where it was a bunch of kids that were saved from underneath the ground. You know what I mean? It wasn't people dying from COVID. So where's the big lie in this?
And on top of all the lies, since these hospitals in place that border, it's not even just Mexico, it's all these countries, tons. They and then said, oh, we're expecting a surge in fall, by the time everybody gets there. But it's like, but they're not telling us the information. They're not telling us the simple stuff that would make us trust them more. If they said, okay, it was, vaccinated, not vaccinated, like health issues that go along with that, like give us the details. Don't say, oh, we have so many new cases. Who gives a fuck about cases? I want to know the details, who had heart problems, who was overweight, all this other shit.
Yeah, they don't say that shit.
And it's like, those are, that's common sense information. If you want someone to trust you, give them all the information you have.
Yeah.
And that's clear. That's not happening.
Well, you wouldn't trust me if we gave you all the information we had.
Yeah. No. Trust issues.
Yeah.
Daddy issues. Daddy wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Oh, Daddy was there.
That's why we got this podcast running.
He's just a reptilian alien, and he was fucking propagating death, destruction to the humankind race. You know what I mean? It's one big club, motherfuckers, and we ain't in it.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
As long as we
charge is too much.
Just pretend to be a battery in society. Just pretend that we're a working battery for their big machine. And
I mean, it is fucking 150 families or something like that own 95% of all the money on the entire fucking planet.
That's insane, dude. That is fucking insane.
I watched this video the other day on the origin of the Social Security card. It was never intended to be used as an identification purpose, and it basically got swindled in by the IRS. Sold our souls before we were born. You know what I mean? Our parents did it for us. Y'all dead? Can't hear you guys.
I'm here. We're gonna have to end up summing this up because for some reason my internet's being weird and I'm afraid it's about to go out. So you keep breaking up actually. My bandwidth is like losing every second. So it keeps going blank, but
Okay.
yeah,
it's getting late.
I think that's good for this podcast. I mean, we should definitely hit these topping points another time. And like on the next one or whatever. Jace, you did an incredible fucking job, dude. You're awesome, dude. And this has been so fun. This was a great fucking podcast, especially for only being the second episode. I think we did a great job. And I mean, any last comments? Anybody anybody got anything you want to really get out there and to let everyone hear it?
No, not right this second.
No, yeah, we can save for the next one, man. Save for the next one.
Perfect.
The
I think
aliens are coming.
Oh, sorry, Jay. Sorry, Jay. Go for it.
No, that's it. That's it.
Look up to the sky, man. They're here. They're coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck,
we can
dude.
continue that on the next one because I got some
Definitely.
shit on that.
And I guess thank you for everyone that tunes in and listens to our podcast episode 2. We're still working on the little kinks and all that stuff and knowing whose names we can say and whose names we can't say without our Zoom meeting getting dropped. You know what I mean? But we are the American Spartans, and we're here to inform and help and discuss all of the problems of this world of today. And guess what, boys?
American Spartans have pot bellies and fucking burgers in their hand, but we here.
We got them. And guess what?
Hey, they don't know that shit.
You know what? We promise to never
Hey, we
give
ripped this
any of our guns to the Taliban. We promise. So right here, holding truthfully, that we are being a lot better than the president of the United States.
That ain't hard.
No, and we're here to help hand in hand to get through this bullshit together. We're all in this together as humans, no matter where you're from, no matter where you're at. We are here, and we're going to do our best to break down this big, giant pool of shit that has been given to us to break down. And we love you, and I don't know. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah.
Amen to that, brother. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking riot.
Let's do this!